Without their incredible support and the support of their talented teams, we would not be here today. I would like to especially thank Senator Chowdhury. He's been with us from the very beginning. He had a vision for what this hub could be and a determination to see it through to reality. So, Senator, hats off to you. Thank you. Infosys is really excited to start our journey here in North Carolina, and with that in mind, it is my distinct honor to welcome to the stage and welcome to the podium the CEO of Infosys, Salil Parekh.
So thanks, Deborah. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a tremendous pleasure for me to be here. Frankly, it's a little bit like an Indian wedding. There's lots of people, everyone's looking really happy. There's going to be a great feast. And we're also celebrating the start of something very special, which is going to last a very long time. For me, the center that we're launching here today, focused on digital technologies, on innovation, and really a hub for everything that we're doing across the US, is extremely special. We have many of the distinguished guests that have already been mentioned. For me, it's a real pleasure that each of them have taken the time to come here. It's also a real pleasure for me that so many of our clients are here today. We have over 120 individuals from different clients who are with us today, and thank you all for being here. What's impressive for me is with everything that Ravi has done from the Infosys side and what Devri has driven, we already have 15 clients that are doing work from this center. And this is the key thing. As I start, I want to take a moment to recognize Governor Cooper and his excellent team. With that team, everyone that have helped us to make this a reality and make this so successful and the start of a fantastic journey. And the reason we're building these digital innovation technology centers and hubs all across the US, there's a few of them, and why specifically here in Raleigh. First, as maybe most of you know, over 60% of our revenue comes from the US. And so for us, this is a critical market, and everything we do is centered around what we want to do in the US. As you well know, in Raleigh, you have a fantastic education system, both with the four-year colleges and with the community programs. And these programs really drive a lot of the work that we will do here and many other companies will do here. And then there's an added benefit. We have a large number of financial services clients that work from here and around this area. And with the progress that has been made over the years, more and more clean tech companies, other sophisticated manufacturing companies, and many more industries. So for us, it was just natural to pick this as one of the critical locations that we want to scale up in. We already have 495 employees that are from the state, mostly centered in Raleigh, some working from client locations, and we have a plan to scale up to 2,000 in the coming years. But just seeing the demand that we see with clients already, my sense is that Ravi is going to far exceed that target very quickly. In terms of our future strategic direction, this fits in extremely well. We essentially have 4 pillars that we are driving for our growth. One is the scaling of digital, and digital technologies is what this center is all about. As you see the environment, and hopefully you get a chance to walk around, it's what we call an agile development environment. Everything is flexible, it's much more intuitive, it feels open, and it certainly doesn't feel like an office of yesterday. The second pillar is where we build artificial intelligence and automation in all of our services. And here again, we have some showcase elements. We have 25 different showcase elements in the 2 floors here. And again, if you get a chance to look at some of them, we have a lot of examples of artificial intelligence and automation that we use with our clients. The third element is really skilling and enhancing the skill sets of our people. And that's critical for us here. What we've done here is try to expand the pool of available talent by skilling all sorts of talent to work for our digital future. And the fourth is what is really critical for this center, which is localization. We are localizing here in the US, in the European markets, especially in Germany and the UK, in the Asia Pacific markets in Australia and Singapore. And that's a critical element of our strategy as we drive our business forward. So with those words, I want to officially launch this center. It's something we're extremely proud of, and it's something we think will scale, as I said earlier, to greater and greater heights. We'd made a commitment a year ago to have 10,000 US employees within Infosys. We've already reached 4,700 in a very short period of time, and we are confident of reaching the 10,000 here in the coming 2 years, if not sooner. With that, I want to take one moment to also thank everyone from the education system that's here. I said that at the start, and that's really the key reason why I think there's so much success in this state and really in everything that you're driving, as some other global companies are looking to pick potentially Raleigh as their headquarters or second headquarters for going ahead. Both the four-year universities, North Carolina State, North Carolina Community College System, and many others that are involved in giving education a key boost. With that, let me close by saying once again, Governor Cooper and his fantastic team, thank you, and let me hand it over to you for your words. Thank you, everyone.
Salil, thank you for those opening remarks and for opening this hub today. I know you're already hard at work, but you got to make something official. Ravi, Desiree, thank you very much for your work with our team. And I want to acknowledge Representative Joe John and, of course, Senator Jay Chaudhary for all of their work in this effort, because it was an effort. This hub could be located anywhere in the world. And Infosys chose North Carolina. And there are a lot of reasons for that, and I'm grateful that they made this choice. When you look across the room and think of all the clients that Infosys has, talk about a power list of Fortune 500 companies, companies big and small, and we'll get to hear from Red Hat CEO, another company from North Carolina that we're very proud of, to tell you how Infosys helps to create jobs and helps these companies operate at peak efficiency. It's very exciting that this is starting here in North Carolina. My mission statement, which you hear me say time and time and time again if you come and listen to me speak, is you know that I want a North Carolina where people are better educated, where they're healthier, where they have more money in their pockets, and they have the opportunities to live a more abundant and purposeful life. That's it. That is my CEO mission statement for North Carolina. I've appointed a great cabinet, the most diverse cabinet in the history of our state. I think it's also the most talented and dynamic. They're working every day to improve the lives of North Carolinians. But this Infosys hub also contributes greatly to that mission statement in North Carolina. And we're grateful to have this hub here. We're grateful for the Infosys employees that are all over North Carolina, helping clients all over the world. And I know that one of the main reasons that Infosys chose to put this hub in North Carolina, other than Senator Chaudhary and me, but the main reason is that they knew we had a commitment to a first-class workforce. And I will say this again, that we have to make sure that North Carolina makes the investments in education so that we can be a top 10 educated state, and that our cradle to college education, from early childhood to pre-K to K through 12, community colleges and universities, all are excellent, because we know the kinds of jobs that are here today, and we don't even know what's coming tomorrow. Many of those jobs haven't been invented yet. But we know that our people, our workforce, needs to have the skills and the talents and the education to take those jobs. One of the great things about Emphasis is that it works closely with our educational institutions and takes students and molds them into the talent that they need for digital, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, all of that. They are molding, and we're working closely with our educational institutions. We have Steve Scott, president of Wake Tech, who is here today, and I know they have a close working relationship. By the way, President Scott is retiring next week, and we should give him a big hand for all his leadership. No question about that. And we have to maintain our commitment to these educational institutions and to maintain our commitment to the fact, recognizing that diversity is our strength, that North Carolina is welcoming to all kinds of people. There have been studies that show that companies, when they are intentional about diversity, they're more profitable, they're more successful. And we've got to make sure that we send that signal not only across this state, across this country, and across the world. North Carolina is open for business. We're the kind of state that has the quality of life that you want to have. We're the kind of state where you want to raise your family. And we're the kind of state that can make sure you are educated and healthier and have more money in your pockets. I'm honored and delighted to be here today. I know that I am grateful for the many meetings that I had with the Emphasis crew and all of our staff and the local economic development folks and the state economic development folks did a great job in making sure Emphasis knew that this was the right place for them to open this hub. This is a great day, and let's continue to work together to make sure that North Carolina is a place that works for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for those kind words, Governor. And next, to continue this discussion about our journey and the transformation of our workforce, I'd like to invite Ravi Kumar, President of Emphasis, to the podium.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Governor, for your kind words. Thank you, Jim, Scott, for being here. Senator Chowdhury, the mayor, the Greater Raleigh, North Carolina Chamber of Commerce, the Economic Development Partnership in North Carolina. Actually, when I started this pretty much a year ago, when I was coming to Raleigh, I was thinking, what's the address I need to go to? The senator said, I'm at the airport meeting you. Then the president of the Chamber of Commerce was with him. And then I turn up. It wasn't the government talking to me. It was actually a set of businesses telling me why North Carolina is so good. I've actually met some of you as a part of that process, how Raleigh is important. In fact, there was a fierce competition between Raleigh and Charlotte at that point of time, which way to go. And we said we want to bet on North Carolina State. So it was such a wonderful experience going through this. I've actually interacted with many state governments, but this was probably the most seamless and the most easy decision for us because it was a very cross-functional team which was rallying behind this. The senator kept chasing me on my telephone, on my text messages. He used all kinds of communication to make sure that I send him a formal note that I'm coming here. So that was the kind of commitment. So we are very excited being here. We started formally now, but we just kind of been in operation for a month or so. We already have 130 employees working out of the hub. Since the last time we made this announcement, we have 500, almost 495. I wish we had the balance 5 as well. 495 hired incrementally in the last 1 year. And last year, when we made this announcement, this was our second hub. We had our first hub in Indiana. And these are digital centers where we manifest digital skills like the governor and our CEO Salil spoke about. We did realize that when we made this announcement, we said we're going to do 10,000 jobs in the United States last May. We did 4,700 out of them by now. And every time I meet a client, they say, where are you going to hire from? We did not depend on hiring only from the market available skills. We wanted to create net new talent which doesn't exist in the United States. This, to me, is the only way tech skills gap is going to be bridged. STEM education is going to take you that far, but institutions like Infosys should partner with governments and academic institutions to actually create a finishing school kind of a thing. And we run that for 8 to 12 weeks with Wake Tech, now we're going to start with North Carolina State University, with other universities in the US. And we build a partnership with them to run the finishing schools so that they could be productive and be a part of the workforce. That was the real gap in the United States for tech skills. And I think we kind of have that magic formula to make that work. So schools, colleges, is the reason why we are in North Carolina. The supportive government, the schools and colleges, the clients around us. We're going to make this a specialized center. And Jim has been very kind to partner with us on Red Hat, and we've been actually working on open source. This is going to be a hub for open source. It's going to be a hub for financial services, which otherwise is a big client base in North Carolina. It is going to be a hub for clean energy and manufacturing. And we are going to actually make data and analytics a big part of this journey because some of the universities here have a specialization in that area. So that's the journey we are in, very exciting. I do believe this is not just going to be a center for local clients. It's going to be a national center for capabilities we're going to specialize on. So clients, in fact, the 15 clients Salil spoke about, some of them don't belong to North Carolina. They're here because we have capabilities built here. Some of them are visiting us today, so please impress on them as well. And they're actually wanting to know whether this is the place to actually invest on. And they're obviously very keen to move away from where they are, whichever state they belong to, but come and work in the North Carolina state along with us. So that's the journey ahead. We've been working with community colleges. Very exciting journey. One of the first tech providers in the industry to work with community colleges and make them mainstream in the tech revolution in the US. There isn't an employer who is actually trying to scale talent from community colleges. We are not dependent on only STEM grads. We are very keen to go beyond. We think the future of technology is not going to be STEM. It's actually going to be liberal arts, design. We are hiring from backgrounds, a variety of backgrounds, which we ourselves didn't do in the past. So that's the future of Infosys. That's the future of the tech services industry. That's the future of bridging the gap of technology skills in the US. And hopefully Raleigh is going to be, and North Carolina is going to be a big integral part of our scaled mission in this journey for the next few years. Thank you again for being here today. And please go and look around the showcases. All the people who are actually going to take you around the showcases are campus hires who we hired in the last few months, who sound to be like pros now. So, please go around and see the office. It's an agile workspace. Thank you again for being here. Can I invite President Scott Waketech to say a few words?
Wow. As I sat there and listened, Governor, I think I decided not to retire. It's too exciting. It's too exciting to leave. But I do want to share just a couple of quick things, and I will tell you the same thing Elizabeth Taylor told her 7th and 8th husbands. I like you a lot, but I won't keep you long, okay? when we were recruiting Emphasis and talked to them about the talent that's available here in Wake County, in the Triangle, in North Carolina. We talked about things that we can do together, and it's already started between the college and Emphasis. And I'm going to retire next week, so that's it. I'm hanging it up. But I want you to know that there is still talent at Wake Tech. And they are the secret sauce. Raul, are you somewhere? Raul, make a noise so I can see. You got the secret sauce. You got a bottle of the Wake Tech secret sauce. I've always talked about this, and lo and behold, the board went to the pit and they bottled some secret sauce. But it is people, and we are learning. The other part that makes this wonderful, we're learning from Emphasis, that we have met with Raul and his wine. I'm sorry. See, when you get old, the memory comes and goes. A little old-timer's disease on my part. Sorry. But you get excited about what we do. And that the people, and we're learning from Emphasis. And that's what makes North Carolina strong, is we don't claim to have all the answers, but we want to work with the employers to find the answers. For me at Wake Tech, it's the 1,300 full-time employees. It's the 12 men and women on the Board of Trustees that stand up behind me every day that make this a strong community college so that we can work and learn from the employers. And here's the rest of the secret sauce. Don't tell anybody else now, okay? The rest of it is we take what we have learned from you employers and then build it in to the continuing educational pipeline and make it a win-win for employers and students. So I thank you, but I've got to have my people to stand up. The chairman of the board, Tom Looney. Tom, stand up, and we'll applaud for all of you at once. Wait a minute. Hold it. We get all three of them. My vice president for Workforce Continuing Education, Anthony Kaysen, and the woman who is the point of contact between Wake Tech and Emphasis, Bernita Nichols. Bernita, stand up. Now give the three of them a round of applause. They are the real secret sauce. I'm not. Thank you.
Dr. Scott. That was great. Thank you so much, Dr. Scott. And we agree. It's all about the talent. They're our secret sauce, too. We will carry on in your tradition of building that talent and valuing our employees. Next up, I'd like to invite Jim Whitehurst to the stage. Jim's CEO of Red Hat and a partnership we're proud to have here at Emphasis. Jim?
First off, I have to say, I hate following Dr. Scott. It's a very tough act to follow. Look, I'm thrilled to be here today to celebrate this opening. And I'm really thrilled with three different hats. And I want to spend a couple minutes talking about each one. First is the CEO of Red Hat. I'm thrilled to have Infosys here and the work that they're going to do here. And frankly, the partnership we've had with Red Hat. Red Hat and Infosys have had a partnership for a long time, but literally in the last 6 months, working with Ravi and as they've looked to open the center here, we have dramatically expanded our business together. And I'm so excited about what we can do jointly working here and representing this area and working with open source and working with all of our customers. So from Red Hat's perspective with headquarters here in Raleigh, we are so thrilled to welcome Infosys here. But more broadly, as the CEO of a large organization, I'm thrilled with the work that's going to be done here. Ravi mentioned the word digital a couple times, and I just want to peel that back a little bit more about how important the work and the value that the work here will have for the clients who will be involved. The word digital has a lot of meanings, but just to peel that back a little bit, this isn't just traditional, IT work. I think what we are seeing broadly around the world today is that enterprises are being challenged in a way they've never been challenged before. right? Most large organizations around the world were built for, and they're optimized, frankly, for the 20th century, for driving economies of scale, for driving efficiencies, for driving standardization. And, for those who've been in business a long time, Lean Six Sigma, drive variance out. How can we kind of scale and do things kind of, more excellently? And that's served us well. And if you kind of go back to the dawn of what we think of as the Industrial Revolution and mass manufacturing, GDP per capita in the industrialized world's doubled every 30 years. So there's been nothing wrong with what's brought us to this point in time and the power of what I'll call mechanical management driving organizations focused on scale. But the reason you hear, and you can read in the press about disruption and companies being, there's even a word, Uberized, is that how value is being created today is changing. It's becoming less about how do I make the 101st millionth car 5% cheaper. All of a sudden, it's about recognizing that a car's only used 90 minutes a day. And so how can you create a new set of services around that to more efficiently get a person from point A to point B, maybe without even owning a car, right? And broadly, companies in every industry are starting to recognize, while it's not that efficiency is no longer important, but the ability to innovate is becoming equally important for long-term success. The ability to engage with customers in a different way. So rather than saying, I can provide slightly higher quality or slightly lower cost on this standardized thing, is to be able to look at a customer and say, I've heard your problems and I can offer you a tailored solution that meets your needs, which will save you 30% or 50%. But building that capability, the capability to innovate, the capability to be creative and work with customers in a different way, requires a different way of acting. It requires a different culture. It requires a different leadership model. And so, as Ravi was talking about digital and agile, these are some of the key building blocks for building companies that are capable of competing in the 21st century. So I'm so excited to have this organization being grown here and the capability being built here, because this, again, I just want to emphasize, this isn't a traditional, here's how we did things 20 years ago. This is really a center about how we can help enterprises around the world build a broader set of capabilities to compete and win and thrive in the 21st century. And I'm thrilled that we have a partnership that we can jointly work together to do that. Finally, as my third hat, as a North Carolinian and a resident here in the Triangle, I am thrilled to have Infosys here. I truly believe that building capability and building kind of webs and networks of capability across companies are what helps build and grow an economy. And so certainly Red Hat is proud to call the Triangle home since our founding 25 years ago. And we are thrilled that we can help continue to work to grow the base of companies that are here. I think this also, and I think you heard this a lot as well today, I think this validates the investments that North Carolina has made in education and quality of life. If it weren't for the talent pool here, if it weren't for the community college system, if it weren't for the university system, which of course all has to be based, as Governor Cooper rightly talked about, from early childhood education through, we wouldn't be here today. But I also want to emphasize what Governor Cooper said as well, which is just because we are where we are today and we can be here and celebrate it doesn't mean it's done. If we want to be here in 5 years and in 10 years from now, celebrating, continuing to grow the way we want to grow and what we aspire for ourselves and our children here, we need to double down those investments in education and quality of life. And so I just want to thank you for all of your commitment and support of what we're doing to continue to grow that here in North Carolina. So with that, again, I'm thrilled to be here on so many different levels. It's really, truly exciting, and I look forward to celebrating many years of success and partnership. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Jim. We really value your partnership with Red Hat. All right, on to the fun part. Shall we inaugurate this facility? Let's do it. All right, so I'd like to welcome Governor Cooper, everyone here on the podium with me, and our honored elected officials up to the stage to join us for a ribbon cutting ceremony. Please.
Let's give him another applause, everyone. Thank you. Okay, we're going to get ready for our tours of the facility here. So this is going to go pretty easy. We're going to have our navigators stand up. You're going to notice our navigators here are wearing color-coded shirts, and that's by design. If you'll look at your badge, you'll see a color strip at the bottom of the badge. You're going to locate the T-shirt that matches your color strip. It's pretty easy to do. If you cannot find the color, or if you don't have a color in your badge, please see me and I will assist you. And here's how we're going to do things, just so everybody's on the same page. Teal and black, you're going to go first. Navigators, teal and black, you will be going first. Yellow and pink, you will go next. Then we'll do orange and red. Then purple and green. Then gray and Carolina blue.